Hi dear, you're welcome to today's lesson on place value. Our lesson today is on place value. So what is place value? Place value simply refers to the value a digit has based on the position it occupies in a number. The value that a digit has based on its position in a number. For example, in the number 1, that's 12, and 41, I tell you that this one you see in here and this one here have totally different values. They have totally different values. They are the same digits, but because in this first number here, which is 12, 1 comes before 2, whereas in 41 you find that the 1 comes after 4. Both are 2-digit numbers, but in the first number 1 comes first, while in the second number it comes after the first number. It comes in the second position. So what we are going to look at is what makes the one here in 12 different in value from the one that you have in 41. That's what we're going to look at. So when we say place value, it simply means the value of this one here, because of the position it's occupying in this number 12, and the value of this one here because of the position it is occupying in this number 41. Okay, so let's take we take the number 12, analyze it, then go to 41, so that we'll start catching up with this concept. Okay, let's be done with that, then I'll show you something about the chart. Remember, in earlier years you learnt about unit, tens, hundreds. I'm very sure you have done that. Okay, so whenever you need to place these digits in the right positions, you always start from your right hand. You start placing these units from your right end. So the number on the right end here is 2, so that goes to the unit position, and the next number comes under tens. Now when you want to work with 41, here is what you have. 1 comes under unit and 4 comes under tens. So what is the value of this one in this number 12? What position does this number 1 occupy here? If you look at this closely, you see that the 1 is under tens, so it is 110. 110. And then let's look at the second number. If you look at this, you see the 1 is in the position of units, so this is 1 unit. And in representing this number 110, it goes as 10, which is 10, and 1 unit goes as simply 1. So now we see why the 1 in this number here 12 does not have the same value as the 1 in the number 41. So now let's quickly go back up. Okay, here you see a chart. There's a chart I have drawn out here. It's called the place value chart. This is known as the place value chart. Okay, it helps you to understand the different positions the numbers can occupy. And mind you, in this lesson we are considering numbers from 1 to million, numbers from the position of units up to the position of million. So that's why if you look at our charts, you have units, you have tens, 100,000, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, and then we're stopping at million. It goes beyond, when you as you go higher, you explore other positions that are beyond million. You have tens of million, hundreds of million, you have billion, tens of billion, just like that. Okay, so but for your level, for this grade level, we'll be stopping at million. Okay, so I'll just like you to take a look at this place value chart and try to familiarize yourself with it. So to the right, the extreme right, you have the smallest position in terms of value, the smallest value in terms of position rather, and that is unit. To the extreme right, that's the smallest value in terms of position, units. Okay, and the next one there is tens. I'm sure we're very familiar with this, up to at least hundreds or even thousands. Okay, so after thousands, what do you have? You have tens of thousands, just like you have tens here. And after tens of thousands, you have hundreds of thousands. And after hundreds of thousands, you have thousands of thousands, which is million. Million is simply 1,000 in 1,000 places. So as you have tens of thousands, you have hundreds of thousands, and then you have thousands of thousands, which is million. Million is thousands of thousands. So down here we see how the units are represented, the positional values. This is how they are written down. This is how they are represented in maths. So this is units. Units, remember, is also the same as ones. You can call it units, you can call it ones, it means the same thing. Okay, so you have unit, this U stands for unit, this D is for tens, H is for hundreds, TH is for thousand, TTH is for tens of thousands, HTH hundreds of thousands, and the M here stands for million. It stands for million. Now here is one main thing I would need or love for you to take note of. No particular digit in combination with other digits has a specific value. I'll repeat that. No particular digit that is joined to another digit or other digits has a fixed value. The value that a digit has at any point in time is based on the position that it is occupying in that number. And what are the positions? They are the positions we have listed out here, ranging from units, which is the least, to million, which is the largest in what we are considering right now. I hope that is clear. Like, you can't just see 8 anywhere and you say 8 is 8. No. If 8 is under unit, yeah, then 8 is 8. But if 8 is under tens, wow, you can't say 8 is 8. Here it is 8 tens. And 8 tens is what? 8 in 10 places, and that means 80. So what I'm trying to explain to you is no digit has a specific value that is in combination with other digits. The value it has depends on the position it is occupying in that given number. I hope that is clear. I hope that is clear. Now I would like to say this. Whenever you're given a number and you are asked for the place value of any of the digits or all of the digits, just know that the first thing you need to do is to spread out the number. Spread it out and place each digit under the position. Okay, under the position that it ought to be, the right position. And by that we mean place them under unit, tens, hundred. If they are 2-digit numbers, you know they are supposed to just be under unit and tens. If it's a 3-digit number, it should spread under unit, tens, and hundred. If it's 4-digit number, it spreads up to thousands. 5 up to this. So, but mind you, the most important thing for you to take note of is when you are spreading that number, when you're trying to arrange your numbers in order for you to know their values, you need to always start from your right. You always start from your right and you arrange backwards to the left. You start from your right and you arrange the numbers backwards, or the digit backwards. Okay, that's the you don't just start any. If you start from the left towards the right, you may end up mixing up their positions. But once you start from the unit end, which is the smallest positional value, there is no way you're going to miss it. Just start from the smallest unit there and spread it towards the left. Wherever the number ends, whatever is the last digit, that is the last digit. But if you want to start from the left hand side and spread towards the right, you may not know where exactly you need to start. That's why it's always safe you start from the left and you spread out. And by the time you do that, you'll be able to find where each digit, the position that each digit falls. You'll be able to find the place, the position for each of the digits, and then you'll be able to name that number accordingly, or you'll be able to find out what the value of each of the digits is. I hope that is clear. So next I'm going to put some numbers on the board based on the chart, the way we've explained the chart, and then the units that we've lined out here. We're going to try to find the values of the numbers or the digits we're going to put on the board for us. Okay, just a way of practice. I'm going to put some numbers on the board and we try to fix them together. So here we have a set of numbers, 3 set of numbers made up of the same digits. These numbers have been formed using the same digits, 4, 5, and 6. The first number here is 456. It has 4, it has 5, and it has 6. And the second number is 644. If you look at it, it also has 4, it has 5, and it has 6. And the third number is 546. 5 is there, 4 is there, and 6 is there. So these 3 numbers have been formed using the same 3 digits. Okay, so we're going to find out, the instruction actually says that we should find the place value of 5 in these 3 numbers. So we're going to start with the first one, which is 456. 456. Now, like I mentioned earlier, whenever you want to do this to find out the place value of any digits in whatever number you're given, always start arranging your numbers from the right and you move towards the left until you get to the last digit. So always arrange your numbers from the left. So, from the right. If we look at this number now, the number at the extreme right is 6. So that number takes the position of units. That's the position for that last digit, followed by tens, and lastly you have hundreds. Okay, so now we know that this 4 here is 4 hundreds, and this 5 is 5 tens, and this 6 is 6 units. Okay, so from arranging from your right towards the left, we find out that 6 occupies the position of units, 5 occupies the position of tens, and 4 takes the place of hundreds. So now we have 4 hundreds, 5 tens, 6 units. So what does that give us? It gives us 400 and, maybe we should write that out. 400 and, now if you have 5 tens, what does it mean? It means 50. 456. Sorry, I think I should just write those in numbers, because actually we're going to come to writing in words, but for now let's just focus on numbers. So we have 400. This will help us, 400. Okay, 5 tens is 50, 50, and 6 units. So everything here gives us 456. So if you do the same thing that we did here to number 2, you will find out that 5 occupies the position of unit, 4 occupies the position of tens, and 6 occupies the position of hundred. So for this first one, actually 5, the place value of 5 here is 5 tens, which is what we already wrote out here. Then if we look at the second number, 5 is going to occupy the position of unit, 4 will occupy the position of tens, and 6 will occupy the position of hundreds. And that means 5 in number 2 will be 5 units. 5 units, that will be the value of 5 in number 2. And then the last number there, 546, if you arrange them in their proper positions, you find that 6 comes under unit, 4 comes under tens, and 5 comes under hundreds. So that means 5 in number 3 is 500. So looking at the 3 numbers, even though they are made up of the same digits, we find out that depending on the position, a particular number can have different values. In this case, we consider the digit 5. The digit 5. In first example, the digit 5 has the value of 5 tens. In second number, the value is 5 units, and in the last number, the value of the digit 5 is 5 hundredths. So we see how a digit can have different values based on the position that it occupies in a number. Okay, so now we're going to consider some larger numbers. We're going to consider some larger numbers so that we understand how it works for any number regardless of the size. So the first example here we'll be looking at is 3,472. This one is a 4-digit number. The other first ones that we considered, they were 3-digit numbers. Now we are moving on to 4-digit numbers, 5-digit number, and then 7-digit numbers to get to million. Okay, so what do we do? Always from your right, you start your positioning. So this first number to the extreme right is units, followed by tens, then hundreds, and lastly thousand. Now if you're going to assign values to these digits, you can easily do that now, having placed them in their proper position. So you find out that 3 has the value of 1,000. That means this 3 here is 3,000 thousands. This 4 here is 400s. 7 here gives us 70. How do we write 70? Okay, let's just write 70. And then 2 here is just 2 units. Okay, just 2 units. So this is 3,000, 3 and 3 zeros. This is 400s, 4 and 2 zeros. This is 70, 7 and 1 zero, and then 2 units. So we can easily see the place value of the different digits in this number. Okay, so let's look at the next example, number 2. So the next example is 64,314. 64,314. Now always remember, that's why you notice that I didn't take off this chart. I have left it here since, and this is the last number we are going to see if we can figure it out, if we can work it out together to see the place value for each of the digits. I've left it here because it's going to help you, and even this I left it here as well so that we guide you. Because once you master this, once you master the chart, and then even the units as they are represented and as they, move from the smallest to the greatest, you won't have any problems, identifying the place value of any digit in a number. Okay, so here we have 64,314. As usual, we're going to start from the extreme right in positioning these digits so that we find their place value. So 4 here is unit, 1 is tens, 3 is hundreds, 4 is thousand, and 6 is tens of thousands. Okay, so here 6 here is 6 tens of thousands, 4 is 4,000, 3 is 300, 1 is 110, and that is just 10, and then 4 is 4 units. So whatever digit you are asked here to find its place value, you simply take the number, and once you know, I usually tell my kids, what you have up there is like the family they belong to. Now 4 is single, whatever number is under 4 is alone, is single, so 4 is 4. Now any number under tens is in the family of tens, and the family of tens, they always have 0 attached to the number. They are always 2 digits and they always end in 0. So this number you see on the tens is 1 and 0, which is 10. Okay, then H is the family of 100, and they usually carry 2 zeros with them. Carry 2 zeros. 1,000 carries 3 zeros, and then tens of thousand carries 4 zeros. So if you're going to write out this number, for instance, it means 6, you're asked to find its place value, you can just do that if you're not sure what it is. Oh, okay, 1,000 has 3 zeros, you put a comma there. This number is what? 6 and 0, 60, and then your 1,000, you name it, 60,000. So the place value, the place value of this 6 is 60,000. Okay. The place value of the 4 is 4,000. Okay, so the place value of 6 in this number is tens of thousands. The place value of 4 is 1,000. The place value of 3 is hundreds. The place value of 1 is tens, and the place value of 4 is units. But if you are asked what is the actual value of the digit 6, it is 60,000. That's the actual value. But the place value is 6 tens of thousands. 6 tens of thousands. The place value of 4 is 4,000. So the actual value of this digit 4 here is 4,000. But the place value is 4,000. 4,000. Okay, so let's consider the last number there. So this is the last example we consider for this session. The number, we have 7 digits here. Now let's do some marking so that it's easy for us to identify. So here we have 1,612,459. Okay, so let's try and position them. So we start from the extreme right. We have units, we have tens, we have hundreds. You can always refer to this or the chart to help you. Okay, then after hundreds you have thousands. After thousands you have tens of thousands. Then that you have hundreds of thousands. And lastly you have million. Okay, now if you are asked, for instance, what is the place value of the digits, the first one in this number, what is the place value of that digit number 1, this underlined one here? This is under 1 million, so it is million. The place value is simply million. And then if you are asked for the value of the number, it is 1 million. The place value of 6 in this number is hundreds of thousands. Hundreds of thousands. Because if you look at the position, this is H up here. This position is hundreds of thousand position, and this next position is tens of thousands. So for this second one, the place value is tens of thousand. Tens of thousand. And for this digit 2, the place value is 1,000. Just like that. And then remember I said if you're asked for the value of the digit, is different from the place value. Place value tells you the position. So that's why the place value for this first one here is million. Just million. It's when you are asked for the value of the number itself, you will name the number, the digit with it. So it will be 1 million. If it was 2 that was here, it will be 2 million. Okay. Then for this 6, the place value is hundreds of thousand. Hundreds of thousand. But the value of the digit itself is 600,000. And then the next one, the second digit, that is 1. The positional value or the place value is tens of thousands, while its value as a number is 10,000. 10,000, but its positional value is tens of thousand. The positional value or the place value of 2 here is 1,000. Then the value of the number itself is 2,000. Just like that. So this is 100, and then the number is 400. This is tens, and then the number is 50. This is unit, and the number is 9. I hope the lesson is clear and we'll be able to do some practice on our own. Okay, there is some work that you need to work on, practice with, that you've been given on our page. So try your hands on them, and let's see how that goes. Okay, so thank you very much for being here. If you find this video useful, helpful, please help share the link. And also if there's any comment, any query, please leave it in the comment section below. We'll take care of it. We attend to it. So thank you, and see you next week.